It's Sunday morning. Thank you so much for joining us here for today's edition of the Hokey video blog. It's a pretty nice morning out there right now, but it's going to be another hot, humid day. Very summer-like conditions continue, but we've got a little isolated storm chance in that forecast. I'll share that with you here in just a few minutes. Let's get through today's Hokey weather fact first, and it's about hurricanes. We've gotten through the start of hurricane season, and I thought I'd talk about the energy in hurricanes today. Believe it or not, a hurricane releases enough energy within about a 20-minute span to equal a 10-megaton nuclear weapon. Pretty impressive, isn't it? There were some theories back in probably the 70s, the 80s, even still on the internet today, that, hey, maybe we should blow up these hurricanes with nuclear weapons and that would stop them. Not the case, because a nuclear weapon only equals a fraction of the amount of energy that a hurricane puts out. Pretty impressive stuff, isn't it? Outside right now on our SkyTrack network of cameras, you see some cirrus clouds up there, some jet contrails as well. Pretty nice morning, as you see it there from the tumbleweed at Waterfront Park. Otherwise, around the region, we're seeing temperatures starting off in the 60s and 70s. Notice the temperatures outside the city in the 60s right now, particularly over in Shelbyville with 66 degrees. And as we zoom on over to our dew points, yeah, those temperatures are very close to the dew point in some places. Had some reports of heavy, dense fog out of the Lexington area. I've been checking over all of our SkyTrack cameras this morning, though. Haven't seen anything that leads any credence to that here in the Louisville metro area and our surrounding 29 counties. So just be mindful that you might have just a area of fog or two, just a very small patch as you go throughout the morning. And that should be mixing out as we speak, as we've got the sun coming up and the heating of the day beginning. Not tracking any storms locally on the Storm Tracker 3D radar. I've got a couple interesting areas that I'll point out to you here in a second. Wanted to point out first, though, that we've got a stationary frontal boundary roughly in and around the metro Louisville area, and this may provide a focus for some thunderstorms as we go throughout the afternoon, especially to the northeast of the immediate city center. And we'll show you Futurecast and show you how that will play out. Otherwise, out to our west, got a convective complex, or just an area of storms, I should say, out there near Omaha, Nebraska, going into portions of Iowa where they've got flood warnings. We're actually behind on rain by about 2 inches for the year, so we could actually use some nice steady rains, and that's not something we'll get today. Wanted to show you what's going on down near Mount Vernon, Carbondale, Illinois, that area in southern Illinois. We've got a little thunder shower that's been trying to get started down there. It's having some trouble. The short-range model saying it's not going to do too well as we go throughout the morning. Had some thunder shower activity up toward Dayton, Ohio, from east of Indianapolis along the I-70 corridor. That's pretty much petered out as well. I think this morning we're going to be remaining dry. It's this afternoon when things do change. Here's how it looks on Futurecast by 11:30. Not a whole lot going on yet, but temperatures rising through the middle 80s. We'll get up to around 92 today, and watch carefully. Some of these isolated showers and storms get going by about 7 o'clock. You see them there in Shelbyville. Areas basically north and east of Louisville will be under the best threat from some of the short-range data I've looked at, both the high-resolution rapid refresh and the 4-kilometer NAM model, all eyeing this area right up about in here for the maximum storm potential today. This is a 20% chance of storms. That means about 80% of us are going to stay dry. All right, so if you need the water and you get it today, consider yourself lucky. And if you don't get it, well, there's more rain chances to come, thankfully, for you. Let's detail those real quick, shall we? Yeah, we've got the warm front that'll be surging north of here as we go throughout your Monday, and I think that's going to take our temperatures a couple degrees warmer to around 94. That should tie, as we've been saying for the last couple of days, the highest high temperature we've had this year, which was last Thursday at 94 degrees. And we might have just a few of those isolated thunderstorms throughout the afternoon. I've pinned in a 20% chance of those there. We've got a 60% chance of storms throughout your Tuesday. This cold front comes on in, and then the heating of the day responds to it. Boom. We get a widespread storm situation out of that. Could have some gusty winds with that, and believe it or not, the storms this afternoon could as well. So really over the next couple of days, I think we have a shot at maybe seeing a severe thunderstorm warning or two, but this shouldn't be a big deal. The upper wind support for all 3 of these days looks very meager. So not a huge deal, but something to watch out for. The heavy rain is going to be a big deal for those that need it, and it could cause a flash flooding problem or two in areas that these storms like to train over. That's something to watch. High temperatures over the next several days will be in the 90s, at least for Sunday and Monday. Look at Monday at 94 there. That's the day that we're looking at for the hottest of the year so far, possibly. Tuesday, when that front moves in, it takes our temperatures down a few notches into the upper 80s, and I think we'll live out the rest of the work week in the mid to upper 80s at this point. Next shot at 90 degrees looks to be on Saturday, I should say, after we get through the stretch of 80s for the work week. So get some ice cream, get some lemonade, get some iced tea. Enjoy today. Keep the Wave 3 News weather app handy to track some of those isolated storms this afternoon so that they don't rain on your barbecue or any outdoor activities that you may have planned. You might want to take those indoors for just a few minutes as some of these slow-moving storms pass on by your location. Of course, we'll be on Twitter and Facebook this afternoon, keeping an eye on things. And Andy Weingarten will be here for Wave 3 News at 6 and 11. For now, I'm meteorologist Ryan Hoke. Enjoy the last day of your weekend.